Hey guys, Bella here, and today is my 6-month update of taking Ozempic for weight loss. And I just got home from the doctor. I've got some updated information to give you guys. I've got some new lab work done, and I've also just kind of been dealing with the stress of trying to get this medication, trying to afford it, and it's been a journey. So I have a lot of information to cover. Like I said, I have now been taking this for 6 months. So I started this back in September of 2022 after just feeling like I had hit a roadblock when it comes to weight loss. I had tried pretty much everything that I knew to do, and I started to realize that part of it was my body working against me. It wasn't necessarily a willpower thing because I had been devoting a ton of time and energy into my health, and I just wasn't seeing the results. So starting Ozempic for me kind of gave me a little bit of courage to kind of push myself in some other areas of life, and it's really been a positive impact for me overall. I've seen better energy levels. I've seen my body begin to shrink slowly. I have not lost, as much weight as other people, but I've lost about 9.4 pounds at this point. I started around 181 pounds, and I'm now around 171.6, I believe. I actually tried on this shirt today for the first time in about a year, and it's super flowy on me. It's like a shirt that used to be like really tight and filled out, and today when I put it on, I was like, wow, this shirt actually looks a lot different. I can tell that I'm having some non-scale victories, especially in terms of seeing my waistline shrink. All of my clothes are fitting loose now, and that is just a major milestone for me to get to. So February was pretty tough for me. I only lost 1.2 pounds. We had a lot going on personally. I had plumbing issues with my house. We didn't have proper water for 3 weeks. We were able to flush, but we were not able to take real showers. So I had to go to friends' houses to take showers. I wound up having to get my entire plumbing replaced all the way from my house down to the street. It was a crazy couple of weeks, and combining that with just having the procedure done on my back. If you don't know, I had a radio frequency ablation done on my back about 3 weeks ago, and that is where they go in and burn off nerves that are causing you pain. I had a car accident back in December of 2021, so combining the surgery that I had with our plumbing messing up, and then I had a tree fall in my yard 2 days after we got the plumbing fixed. So we wound up spending $6,000 on everything in a week. So it was very, very stressful. So I can see why I really did not lose much weight in February, because when you're under stress, it's just difficult to think about a lot, and also your body kind of, your levels are off as well, because stress definitely contributes to weight gain in my experience. I have started a new program at my doctor's office. I think the last time that we spoke, I was ordering my medicine from Canada. I was able to do that for 1 month of medicine, but I actually found out from my doctor that they have just started doing the compounding SEMAGLUTIDE with L-carnitine, and my doctor's program cost around $300 a month. It's basically $60 a month to be on their program, and then it's $60 a week for your shot. It does depend on how much medicine you are getting. So they moved me from 1 milligram a week to 1.7, and so I'm actually getting more medicine now for cheaper than what I would have been paying to get it in Canada. Now, I will say that the major drawback to doing it this way is that I just spent an hour sitting at my doctor's office for them to give me a shot that literally took 30 seconds to do. So I'm really frustrated with that aspect of it, but at this point, there's not a lot of other options for me to continue taking this medicine. There's not a lot of affordable options, I should say. If I want to pay for it out of pocket, I'm certainly able to do that, but right now, it's just not feasible for me to pay that. And I'm seeing, a lot of people stressing about how they're going to pay for their next pen and how they're going to get it. And so, it is really kind of sucks to be able to find something that finally works for you and then see all of these roadblocks that you have to face in order to get it. But with that being said, I am going to continue this program with my doctor. I really trust that this medicine is going to continue helping me. Moving from 1 milligram to 1.7 milligrams, I actually got a low-grade headache that I had for a couple of days, and I actually threw up for the first time in 6 months. Since the first month I started, I threw up one time. I threw up the first week that I started the 1.7. I ate 400 calories worth of lasagna, and I drank some hard seltzers, which I think was what made me sick. Obviously, that was not a good choice, but I learned from that you just cannot ingest too much food on this medicine. It really does affect your appetite. So I've just been trying to eat smaller meals. I'm also trying to focus on adding more protein in because I feel like my protein was a little off. I did get some lab work done from my doctor, and they told me that I am in fact insulin resistant. As I said before, I've had lab work done in the past, but this confirmed that I am still insulin resistant. They also said that my A1C was 5.2, so my A1C level is actually good. So I was happy about that. I do still take metformin. I take it in conjunction with my Ozempic, and so I've been on metformin for like 2 years, and I've never seen any like weight loss or really any side effects from metformin, but I've just continued to take it because I was so worried about becoming pre-diabetic that I wanted to do everything in my power to keep that from happening. So in terms of progress, I have lost just under 10 pounds, and I have been trying to get under the 170 mark by the end of March. Today is March the 14th, and I think I was at 171.6, so I would need to lose 1.6 in the next 2 weeks or so. So it may happen, it may not happen, I'm not really sure. I'm not going to push myself too much because I am pretty close to that goal, but just for me, that was sort of a quarterly goal. I like to set monthly goals, but I also like to set quarterly goals because I feel like if you have a 90-day block of time, you can kind of set more reasonable expectations for yourself, because we are all, living life, and we can't expect to be perfect every month. But as far as progress goes, I'm happy with it. I know a lot of you have said that like the amount of weight I've lost is not necessarily worth how much I've spent, but it's not just about the weight for me. It's very much about like my quality of life, my health, the way I look and feel, and I've seen a big change in all of that. And so I think it's been worth every penny that I've paid. Even though I've paid a lot of money to try to figure this stuff out, I still feel like it's worth it in the end. So in terms of what I've been eating, I have continued to count my calories. I've actually gone like 65 days straight counting my calories, which to me is like a major achievement, because what would happen is I would do good like Monday through Friday, and then the weekend would come and I'd go out with friends, or we'd go out to eat or go bowling or go to the movies or something like that, and I would, not track. But I've continued to track for 65 days straight, and I can definitely tell that that is helping me in terms of being more mindful when it comes to food. And I had another comment from someone who was like, I don't track calories because not all calories are equal. And while that is obviously true, if I eat 1,500 calories worth of Snickers or 1,500 calories worth of chicken breast and eggs, obviously I'm going to feel very different, and my lab work is probably going to come back very different. But in terms of measuring your energy level, input, output, it really is a lot of just mathematical equation of if I burn 2,200 calories today and I only eat 1,600, well, eventually I'm going to start to lose weight. It might be a little bit more complicated for those of us who have hormonal issues or insulin resistance or things like that, PCOS, but in the long run, I think that calorie counting is still a good option, especially if you're like me and you struggle to understand, am I actually full? Is this the right amount of food? How much protein am I getting? How much carbs and fats am I getting? So I think it's important to kind of have some kind of plan. For me, I need to believe that I am doing something in conjunction with taking the medicine, not just taking it and hoping for a quick fix. So that is why I'm continuing to count calories. I actually recently discovered these Dr. Pepper Zero. These are the strawberries and cream, and they're pretty good. I will say I limit myself to one a day, and I don't even drink them that much because they're way expensive. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but soda has gotten so expensive, like $7 for a 12 pack. I might be a little bit older here, but I remember the days of going to get 4 12 packs for $10, and this was at Target. So things have really inflated lately, and I guess that's one of the reasons why, in terms of like counting calories and getting groceries, I try to be really specific about what I'm going in there for, because it's easy to get sidetracked and spend a lot of extra money and then wind up with food that really won't benefit you in the long run. So I might make a video of like what I eat in a day or what I eat in a week on Ozempic if there's enough interest in that. For me personally, I don't apply any rigid food rules because that will just lead me into a binge and restrict cycle, and I've had a lot of issues when it comes to like emotional eating and eating for basically as a coping skill. So it's not worth it to me to put any major restrictions on the food that I eat. Now, in terms of exercise, I actually just got Just Dance, the 2023 version. We got like all the one with the bells and whistles, and we have been playing that a couple times a week, and it is so much fun. It's just a great way to move your body, and honestly, I can work out doing that for 30 to 45 minutes, and I can really get my heart rate up. I have a good time, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm moving, and ultimately I feel like it's an exercise that is sustainable for me because I just don't enjoy going to the gym. In the past, I make myself go to the gym and do a sauna and treadmill session, but ultimately I like to do something that is more fun, or go outside, or play baseball or something like that. I'm really not big into going to the gym, and since I had my surgeries, I'm really not able to lift weights anymore. So that kind of sucks because that was something that I loved doing. Those were movements that I felt like really toned my body, and I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to go back to lifting at least like light weights. But right now my pain is so bad. I'm actually going back to my doctor this afternoon to kind of talk with them again about possible roads that we can go down, because I'm still in daily pain. I mask my pain pretty well because I have to get through the day, and I don't want it to take over my life. But I've been in chronic pain for about 15 months now, and honestly, I feel like that affects a lot of my weight-related issues and basically the way that I go through the world. And so I would really like to continue focusing on my health, focusing on solutions, and trying to just kind of become the best version of myself. And I feel like weight loss will ultimately help with that, and it can definitely help with chronic pain as well. But I do get frustrated because there's an element of like, if you're fat and you go to the doctor, they blame all of your problems on you being fat instead of actually looking into your issues. So that can be extremely frustrating. So I see a lot of that in the medical community, where I'm being judged for my weight rather than for what's actually going on with me. So that is really frustrating. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but when the doctor basically says like, oh, you're fat, that's why you're having all these problems, it's just so invalidating. So in terms of progress, I did go to Target and I tried on this swimsuit. I thought it was super cute, and it just kind of showed me how far I've come, because in the past I would be honestly disgusted with myself when I would go to try on swimsuits, and I would almost always leave about to cry. And I'm not trying to get all like sad, sappy, depressing with you guys, but going to try on swimsuits was something that I dreaded every single year. It made me feel so bad about myself, and to be able to kind of see myself now in a more positive light, to feel cute, to feel like something fits me. And it's not like I'm not buying it just because it fits me. I'm buying it because I actually like it and I think it's cute. In the past, when I was bigger, my options were so limited that I would have to buy clothes that just fit me. It wasn't like I could pick out what I wanted. I just had to get whatever would work for me. So being able to go shopping and have those kind of options has really boosted my confidence as well. I tried on like a new sports bra that I really liked, and even if I'm just working out at home, I still like to dress cute and I still like to feel good, because ultimately, if you're feeling good about yourself, you're going to make better choices, you're going to start to boost your confidence, and you're going to do more in the long run to kind of keep the motivation train rolling. One thing that I have been having trouble with lately is my sleep. I am not sure if it's related to Ozempic, but I feel like it could go hand in hand with the blood sugar thing. I've been waking up about 4 a.m. feeling like wide awake. And so my doctor put me on Silanor or Doxepin. Basically, it's just a sleep medication. And so I've been trying that. But the problem that I run into is that it makes me feel like extremely groggy the next day. And I'll sleep like for too long. So I was sleeping like 9 to 10 hours. And then I was waking up still feeling groggy. So I really don't know what to do, because one of the reasons why I don't sleep is also my pain. So I mean, I'm kind of frustrated by all of that, because I know that bad sleep also leads to obviously not making good food choices, not having energy level to work out. And so I'm really trying to find a solution to that. I've tried several different kinds of sleep medication. I've tried the hemp gummies that you can get online. I've also tried like the ZQuil, which actually works pretty good. And then I've just tried like Dramamine on a night that I really just could not sleep and I was feeling in so much pain. I just knocked myself out because I didn't know what else to do. And so, this past week I've really struggled with sleep, and I feel like it probably even is coming through on camera, because I don't have the energy level that I usually have to make this video. I've been procrastinating it for like a week, and I'm sorry you guys, I was gonna do it sooner, but I've just been dealing with a lot. And so in terms of being on Ozempic for 6 months, what I have noticed the most within myself is freedom from food and freedom to kind of live my life and not worry about every little thing that I eat. I'm not constantly thinking about my next meal. Today I've only had oatmeal. I really haven't had anything else, and I mean, it's been longer than what I would usually have food. I would usually eat before now, but I've just gotten busy and kind of, you know, more or less forgotten to eat. And I don't say that to like brag. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, but I mean, in the past, that would never happen. I would never forget to eat. I would bring food with me if I knew I was going somewhere and I was going to be gone for a long time, because I knew that once my blood sugar level dropped, that I would start to feel really bad. And I'm one of those people who gets hangry. My friends and my boyfriend make fun of me for it, but they're like, you got to feed Bella because she's going to get ill if she goes too long without eating. And so, I mean, I've pretty much always dealt with these issues, but I was happy to get positive blood work done. One of the things that came back in my blood work was that I have some issues with like vitamin D level, and my testosterone level was off. So I'm gonna try to see an endocrinologist. I'm not sure how that will work. I believe I have to get a referral for them. But if any of you guys have an experience with going to see an endocrinologist, I would love to hear about that, because I feel like for a lot of us, we just haven't had proper medical experiences. Doctors are quick to dismiss, especially primary care physicians. I feel like they are overly simplistic in how they treat certain issues. And I feel like one of the major issues is that they don't continue their education as a physician. They kind of just like, I don't know, when they graduate, maybe they don't focus as much on like continuing their education, so they're not up to date on things like obesity and weight loss. And I mean, ultimately, I feel like obesity is a chronic condition. I feel like, I mean, we treat it as a moral failing in the United States and honestly in other countries as well, but a lot of it has to do with the food on the shelves at the grocery store, the way that they put sugar and corn syrup and fake stuff and everything. I'm by no means eating perfectly, but I am starting to pay more attention to what are the ingredients in the food that I buy and how can I minimize the effect of eating processed foods, because ultimately it's not helpful for me if I lose weight and then I continue a bad diet. So Ozempic has continued to stay in the news cycle. I even saw that it was mentioned at the Oscars as a joke, and I mean, really and truly, it is frustrating to see a medication that is so helpful being kind of dragged through the mud. But I feel like that just goes to show you the stigma of being obese and the stigma of weight loss in general. You know, we're always being told that there's something wrong with us because we can't lose weight the good old-fashioned way with diet and exercise. And personally for me, I have been dieting and exercising myself to death. I mean, I've done it so much that I feel like I'm an expert level calorie counter slash cardio queen. I mean, I've done everything that I know to do. So being able to take this medication and sort of finally relax and finally feel normal is a gift that I really would love to be able to give to everyone who wants or needs it. I don't feel like it's fair to gatekeep this medication, because inevitably, if you don't take care of your weight, sooner or later, you're going to become pre-diabetic or diabetic, and then you're going to be on insulin for the rest of your life, and you're going to risk things like heart disease, and you're going to risk having your toes or your feet cut off. And so I don't want that to happen to anyone. I want people to be able to get the treatment that they need before it becomes a bigger issue. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed my 6-month update video. I am looking forward to seeing how the summer will go, because I am definitely more of a summer person. I like to go outside. I like to go to the creek. I like to feel the sun on my skin and just go outside and play and stuff. So I feel like I'm a little bit more active in the summer. So I'm hoping that that will kind of boost my activity level and boost my confidence more as well. But so far, I am really happy with the progress I've made. I'm super proud of myself. And if you have followed me for the last 6 months, thank you so much for sticking with me, because it means a lot to get feedback from you all, and it means a lot that I'm not alone in this journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.